name is Igor, and in today's video I would like to share with you guys the conversation I had with a coach from Jordan, the only female soccer coach in the women's professional division. Think about it. Women's professional league, and how many female coaches? One. Only one. So if you ask me, Igor, do you think women's league should be only for female coaches? No. Do you think men's league should be only for male coaches? No, absolutely not. That's my point. My point is, all human beings are equal under God. That's what I believe. And everybody deserves open doors to have a chance. Doesn't matter what. Absolutely nobody should be seen as a second-class person because of nationality, women, men, black, white, whatever. To me, it's that simple. We are all human beings created by the Almighty God. So that's my conversation with a brave female soccer coach from Jordan. Enjoy, hit the like button, and have a very good day. With you guys, Sara, Shehabi. All right. So, Coach Sara, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for accept my invitation to listen to you and list your experience, your thoughts, your opinion about soccer issues. And please, I would like you to tell a little bit about yourself for the next 2-3 minutes. Just give an idea. I'm pretty sure it's not easy for you to work as a soccer coach. It's not easy, in Brazil for the women to work as a soccer coach. So can you tell a little bit about yourself, please?
First of all, thank you, Igor, for your time and for hosting me. It's a pleasure for me also to have this conversation with you and exchange information about women's soccer in different regions. First of all, my name is Sara Shehabi. I was a former national team player for the Jordanian women's national team for soccer. I'm a holder of AFC A license. Also, I have 11 years of experience in coaching women's football across, starting from grassroots into professional division. I'm a holder of a master's degree in sport and exercise science from the University of Lincoln from UK. Also, I used to work for PSG Academy in the Middle East as a head coach and as a technical director for the women's senior team in the women's professional division in Jordan for Amman FC. And as I've said before, my 11 years experience have been always evolving around women's football since the start. Yeah. It's not easy being the only female coach in Jordan. So wow. I think our conversation will lead one thing into another. So please start your next question.
Yeah, wow. So you are the only female coach in Jordan?
Yes, I'm proudly saying that I'm the only woman coach in Jordan. We have a lot of female coaches that do have license, but they are not well equipped to lead a team. Yeah. So I'm the only technical director in the women's professional division, which is a very important step to me. It's a male-dominant, environment. A lot of testosterone in the air, okay, but it's still something I'm very proud of. As I've said before, being the only woman coach in Jordan, gives me a lot of spotlight. And on the other hand, it's very nerve-wracking because everyone is waiting for you to fall. So yeah. It's very hard. It's very hard.
I can believe I live in the United States, but I'm from Brazil, and the women's soccer in Brazil now is a little bit better. You have a national league. We have uh, professional teams that they are, investing money, investing in, professional people. But when I start my university degree, like 2006, 7, something like this, was very different. Like I can see in Brazil, if I look back 15 years or so, I can see a big difference. I see a lot of room for improvement, but I see a big difference. Here in the United States, it's, we have, of course, you have issues, but here is completely different from Brazil, and I can imagine there. You tell me you are the only one. Like in January, I was doing a license in Brazil. We had 3 or 4 uh, women coaches in my class, and we have a lot now in Brazil. I can see, but it's really. I'm surprised you tell me you are the only one. So can you tell people uh, what what do you have in mind? Like if you have the power, if someone tells you, hey, you're gonna be now in charge for the women's football in Jordan, what do you have in mind? Like 2 or 3 things that you think you should do to help these numbers. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure you have more women to want to work with soccer. Maybe as a
Yes,
coach, maybe
100%.
physical therapy, maybe fitness training. So what could you do in your opinion?
The problem is that we don't have a proper encouragement for females. That's the problem. So every single female who wants to enter the coaching environment, they are always lacking the confidence. And if you lack the confidence, you wouldn't do anything proper. Even if you have the best knowledge, you wouldn't be able to implement this knowledge properly because you don't have the enough support. And we need someone to support female coaches. We need someone to give them opportunities. It's always because they believe in men over women. That men they are more resilient. They can lead teams. But on the other hand, now women's soccer is evolving, and you need to have the sense of or you need to have someone inside every single team as a female. You know what I mean? You need to
Yeah,
have female in the industry.
yes, yeah,
You cannot it cannot be always male dominant
yeah,
because at the end, at the end, no matter how is the coach is educated, he cannot be at the same level of communication if it's female for female, female
yeah,
to female, if you know what I mean.
yeah,
So if I had the chance and have the opportunity to be in charge or have the power to change anything, it would be giving opportunities for female coaches to get involved in coaching. Because if you don't give them opportunities, they
yeah.
will not have confidence, they will not be able to grow.
Understand? Yeah. Usually, as human being, all of us, if you are working somewhere and people don't have confidence, in your job, it's difficult because you start to, you cannot focus 100% in your job if you have
Yeah, you're
someone
always
close to
hesitant.
you.
You're always hesitant.
Exactly. Yeah. I understand, totally understand. As a former military guy, we we learned this in the very beginning that, even they say, even if you make a mistake with confidence. You know what I mean? Don't try or don't do or don't pretend you are doing something if you are not sure what you are doing. So if you're gonna make a mistake, everybody makes mistakes, but do it with confidence. Do your job with confidence. So I can understand, why you are saying this. What I see in my mind is always someone close to you, like, you are not doing the right thing, or maybe I believe I'm not doing the right job. Always um, uh, creating question marks around you.
Exactly. That's why I always need to do the double the work
Yeah.
that a normal male coach is doing, because you always need to step up. Always you need to have a backup plan. You try not to fall or not to do any mistakes. Although
Yeah.
it's normal to have mistakes
Sure.
while in your career. It's totally normal. But for a female coach,
Yeah.
they are always trying to pinpoint those mistakes.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Like, every human being, you have qualities, and you have your, mistakes. You make your mistakes. Usually, what they do is, in your qualities, they don't see. In your mistakes, they put big lights on. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really difficult.
And when
So
you do an achievement, it's
yeah,
normal.
sure. Yeah.
It's love. They don't know see how a lot of efforts has been put into this work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
as soon as you have, for example, you lost a match,
Yeah.
everyone starts to talk about.
I understand. I understand. How is there for the like little girls 10, 11, 12, 13 years old? How is there, for little girls that want to play soccer, football? How it works
Honestly,
there?
it's not easy because we need to put more emphasis on grassroots centers.
Yeah.
In the past 10 years, football has been evolved here in Jordan. It has been evolved, but it's the growth is very minimum and slow.
Hmm.
But when you look in the past and when you look at it right now, it has been
Yeah.
evolved.
Yeah.
And it's not easy because the community is not supporting. And the lack of infrastructure, the lack
Yeah.
of society support, um, 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 the mentality of the people in the Middle East is
Yeah.
not very well educated regarding women's soccer.
Yeah.
So it's not easy for young players or even for senior players. It is the same because you will face the same challenges of um, um, your study is more important than soccer.
Yeah.
Soccer is only for boys, it's not for girls. Um, um, we don't compete professionally. So, okay, you're going to play for 10, 11 years, and what's next?
Yeah.
So, the future is vague. So, when you want to talk to a parent saying that, okay, you want to convince them that your kid is going to become someone important in women's soccer, they are always looking for the future, and the future is vague because we don't have proper leagues. We don't have
Yeah.
the international exposure, if you know what I mean. We don't
Yeah.
have a lot of players that are going to playing professionally outside of Jordan.
Yeah.
So at the end, it's they will stay playing locally. So
Yeah.
this is what most parents are looking at. They look at Yamin Lamal, and they look at players from all around the world, and they want this for their kids, but it's not applicable
Yeah.
in our country, honestly. So
Yeah.
they are putting expectations that are not realistic to what we have. So their response is no. She's not going to play football. Either she's going to become a famous player, she's going to become rich,
Yeah.
or either she continues studying.
I understand. In Brazil, in Brazil, all the clubs, uh, they must have women's team because of is a FIFA regulation or FIFA law, something like this, that they must have women's team if they
Yeah,
wanna
exactly.
work as a club. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
did they do something like this there?
Yeah, for sure. We have in Jordan, since 2018, we had the first professional division. Okay, so it was amazing. We have the ability to bring three girls from outside the country to play in the Jordanian division. This year, we have four players from outside of Jordan. We have under 20 league, we have under 16, we have under 14. But the thing is that when you have women's professional league and you have only six teams competing, if you know what I mean,
Yeah,
it's not that powerful.
yeah,
when you play for a long season with only 6 teams, it
Yeah.
becomes boring, especially when you have a very good team and the other teams have a very difference in
Okay. The level.
performance and
Yeah.
the level. So it becomes a little bit boring.
Yeah.
You can see from the first, so from the home and away, okay, you can start seeing who's the winner of the league.
Mm-hmm.
And we need more teams. We need more teams. And it's
Understand.
not easy. It's not easy.
Understand. Yeah. When you coach, uh, since your beginning, you have been coaching only girls or mix? Like I coach boys, I coach girls. How do you how
No, I
is it?
started coaching mix. When I studied my bachelor degree, I used to work in academies, so I coached young athletes, boys and girls, mixed age groups. It was for me mixed age groups until I got my B license. And when I got my B license, I focused on putting all my efforts in developing women's football
Mhm.
because when I was a player, I really wanted that female support and I really wanted to see difference. So when I got my B license and when I got my A license, I wanted to be that person who is going to make the difference in women's football.
Yeah.
So as I've said before, I've started working with mixed groups, starting from grassroots in youth, and then I focused my past 11 years has been focused on only females.
Okay. All right. In Jordan Federation, uh, how do you call it? Called Jordanian Federation?
Yeah, it's the Jordanian Federation, yeah,
Jordanian
JFA,
Federation. Yeah. Do
Jordan
you
Football Association.
okay? Do you have a specific role for a woman to be in charge of women's issues for football? Do you have
Yeah,
anything like
we do have the women's department. We do have the women's department, but
yeah.
it is under the umbrella of the Jordanian Federation. So no matter how they try, the resources of the country is minimum. So we don't have a lot of fields for women. The lack of money, as I've said before, the lack of infrastructure. Um, there are numerous factors. As I've said before, the first women's national team was established in 2005.
Yeah.
So it was too late if you compare it to other countries. For
Yeah.
us, when you talk about Brazil,
Yeah.
in the Middle East, we are saying always about, oh, Brazil, Italy, for example, UK. And at the end, they do have the same problems as we have.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a major problem in every single federation, in every single word. The women football is something that needs to shed more light on. But I think now the US is going to evolve differently because they are the host for the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a huge leap for women's soccer in the US.
Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully things will change in the region. Well, it's in Europe, it's in the Middle East.
Yeah. It's definitely women's soccer is changing the last years, on TV, broadcasts, all these
Exactly.
you can get these details, financially.
Yeah.
Uh, I believe that, if you look at soccer factory, a football factory, you have the raw material, you have the factory, and you have the shipment. So the shipment is the professionals. The factory is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the factory start to work on and transform the kids in a professional player. So I believe a good option for you guys, like even in Brazil, is try to, as you said, grassroots. These early age, like 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the main point to change. Because I believe you need more girls playing soccer. You need more girls playing soccer, more and more. and
Exactly.
then you're gonna have more teenager girls, and they're gonna have more women playing soccer. You know what I mean? It's like a domino effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally understand. But
Yeah,
the problem is the mentality of female is very complicated because in their early years they want to play soccer, and then when they are teenagers, their mentality changes and they don't want to play anymore, and then they want to play again. And we want more consistency,
yeah,
and we want the support to be sustainable. So it's more about having proper mentality for women's football is a must. If you build a proper mentality, a professional mentality since their early age, it's very important for them to think professionally and to
yeah,
have more consistency in the age groups because you don't want to work on building grassroots center and then ending up at 19, 20 years old, 21 years old. No one wants to play anymore. They want to leave for university. Some of the girls want to get married. So it's, as I've said before, it's a matter of mentality, society, because the society in the Middle East always biased on having a family on early age. For example, 20, 25, you need to get married, you need to have kids.
yeah,
So as I said before, we need to change the mentality first. We need to encourage parents to have a different way of thinking regarding women's football,
yeah,
then think about how to implement this into grassroots centers.
yeah, yeah. I believe, you know, most of the girls that quit, I believe they quit because they don't see a clear pathway. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I'm here in 3, 4 years, I can be here, and in 5, 6, 7 years, I can be here. So if they
Yeah,
don't,
that's what I mentioned. That's what I mentioned for you before is that they have expectation that does not comply with reality. So she wants to play professionally, but she's not finding the support, neither the consistency in the leagues. She's not getting into the national team. So when she doesn't see a clear pathway, she's gonna for sure 100% look the other side and say, okay, I'm gonna continue my study. I'm gonna work from 9 to 5. I'm gonna have a proper salary. So as I've said before, they look for stability. We don't
yeah,
have this stability.
yeah, understand. So as a coach, so what do you have in mind for the next 3 to 5 years? Like, we always have our job is very difficult because you know you do a very good job, but at the end of the day, they judge you by the score.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, you can do a wonderful practice, you have wonderful sessions, you teach, you help them to improve, help them to have a better performance, all this. But at the weekends, if you don't win, that's how people judge you, right? So like I'm always thinking about, I'm trying to not be get by surprise. As a coach, you always have to have a B plan, maybe a C plan, Uh, what do you have in mind? Because you have a lot of experience, you have education, you have background, you have experience. Even in Brazil, it's not easy to find a professional like you with your, qualifications. So, what do you have in mind for the next maybe 3 to 5 years to try, improve yourself, or maybe to maybe go to a different place, or because sometimes like your we have we have a coach in Brazil that say, sometimes, how can I tell this in English, like in your own house you don't have the opportunities that you should have, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
sometimes
I
own
totally
country,
understand you.
your
That's
in
why,
country, they don't valorize you, you know what I mean?
exactly, they don't respect. And as I've said before, I have reached the top because being for several years in the women's professional division and at the end ending up with 6 or maximum 8 teams, for me as a coach is it's not what I look for because I'm always looking for development. And
Sure.
in coaching, you always need to learn. You need to learn from experiences. You need to learn different methodologies of training. Um, 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 different ways of thinking. So you need to step up. You need to leave the place. You need to leave your comfort zone. I have been in my comfort zone for several years.
Yeah.
Um, I'm already famous in my country, and I'm very proud to say that. And if you Google my name, you can see that I'm the only woman in the professional division. So the thing is that I'm always looking for other opportunities in other countries, but it's not easy, as I've said before, because of my background, where I come from as an Arab. It's very, it's not easy, especially now politics play a huge role
Yeah.
in everything, in sports, in every industry. Politics is is the power hand. I don't know how to find the proper word to say it. So for me, I'm looking for change. I'm looking for
Yeah.
leaving the country for a better opportunity. It's not
Yeah.
because that I don't want to give more to my country, but I have give my best experience
Yeah.
and the best of Sara. So now it's time for Sara to move on to get more experience and then take this experience again back to my country and try to evolve and develop sports in especially soccer in Jordan. So it's this is the cycle of
Yeah.
the coach's life.
Yeah.
Okay, you stay for a period of time in this area, then you're gonna change, then you're gonna change, then you're gonna change. So it's not something permanent.
Yeah.
So when you said that, what I can do to make something different here in Jordan, as I've said before, you cannot change the mentality of the management of the team, because what they think about is money,
Yeah.
how to win, and how to have the least expenses. So they don't care whether you give 100% of your effort. They don't care whether you are the best coach, whether you have the best education, because their scope and their mentality is only about money and only about results.
Yeah.
So this is something worldwide
Yeah.
if you look at it. So there's something for us as coaches that we can do differently. You cannot change the mentality of people who have money, who have power, who have authority. It's something that we cannot do anything about. So the one thing that we can do is put our 100% in our training session, trying to develop, thinking about the next match, the next season,
Yeah.
etc. And this is the best that we can do.
Sure. Yeah. What you said, it's all over the place. Like in Brazil, uh, we have a lot of problems with some clubs because people don't want to think long term. You know,
Exactly.
they wanna invest something today, Wednesday, for example, and they want the results on Friday. They don't want to wait at least 2, 3 years. They don't want to have an expectation for 5 years. They want everything for yesterday. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
once you have this kind of environment, it's difficult because it's too, how can I say, maybe it's
Yeah,
good
because the coach
for
is not a magician. The coach is not a
exactly
magician.
exactly exactly yeah exactly. It's all over the place. Unfortunately, we have some changes in Brazil in terms of management, but always at the end of the year, the problems are always the same. Debts. There is no money, and then you have to do this, you have to do that to get more money to pay the debts, all these things. Uh, it's. I wanna. Wow, we are almost in our time. I wanna ask you a final question. No, I don't wanna. It's we're running out of our time. I have a final question for you. Do you consider, uh, before my question, I would say I think would be awesome for you, but based on your qualification, do you consider in a near future become a kind of manager or sports management woman that rather than stay inside the field, go to outside the field and then try to do something, as I said, 3 to 5 years to help in another way your country in terms of women's soccer?
Yes, for sure. Because, every single year passes, you're getting older, not younger. And you know that coaching needs a lot of physical presence.
Yeah.
And at the end, you want to have full commitment to women's soccer. So you need to keep yourself in the field as long as much as possible and for as long as possible. So for
Yeah.
me, I am looking for managerial positions that will help in developing. At the end, it's the same message and it's the same target for me, whether it was being a coach or being something to the next level as a manager or as a tutor or as you know what I mean. So yeah, for sure, I'm thinking about it but not in the near future, honestly, because I do still have a lot of experience. I still have a lot of energy. I still have a lot of Sarah's information and Sarah's experience to put in the field. So I think in the near future, yes, but not now.
How is there? Sorry, I said the last question, but it's interesting. It just came into my mind.
Yeah.
How is there for like a 25 years old woman that wants to be a coach? How is there? Do you have um, some kind of way to this woman do a certification and work as a coach? How
Yeah,
is it?
honestly, it's easy to have to go and enroll in the federation to take a license.
Yeah,
But the thing is that what happens next? What happens after taking the license? And with all due respect, either if was it male or females, a lot of people do have certification, but it's not backed up with experience. It's not backed up with proper knowledge. So not every single person that have a B license or a C license or a license are the same of Coach A or Coach B or Coach C, because everyone comes from different backgrounds. Everyone has different education. So it's not about getting the license, it's about getting into the field and getting your hands on coaching a team.
yeah,
So it's easy to take the license, but
yeah,
it's not easy to find a team that will accept you as a female. For me, it wasn't easy, but they wanted my experience, they wanted my knowledge. So they were like holding on fire when they asked me to come and coach, if you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
Because they don't want me, but on the other hand, they want me. If
Yeah.
I make sense.
You act, being honest, you need another Sara in a management position. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? That's the point I want to make. Uh, like maybe one day you're gonna have a position, management position, and then you are gonna help some Sara that the Sara today you don't have. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I believe that, unfortunately, as a coach, we are very limited, in terms of change concepts, change ideas, change methodology, change, investments. All I believe that at some point you should be a step up as a manager, as a CEO. I don't know the name, but as someone that oversee, coordinate, supervise, control, and then you can help the new Saras. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because you have a lot of knowledge, you have the education, you have the license, you have the experience, you have the background, but you don't have another woman a little bit older to back you up.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's the way I see that. Like maybe something like this is gonna happen. I don't know, but I wish you, I wish you more than luck. I wish you success because you are working hard and it's tough when you are, when you go to the field, put the seeds, and you don't see the stuff coming out. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's difficult. So um, it's tough. I can't imagine. I can't imagine because I had the experience with women's soccer in Brazil and close to you. I can tell you there is easy. Because the challenge you have is completely different from the challenge we have in Brazil. And here in the United States, it's completely different. So please, if you can, tell a little bit about yourself, what you believe for the future, uh, your expectations, for the future, please, a few words.
Honestly, I do see myself in the future in another league, in another country, honestly. So my to-go target, honestly, is the US, because as I've said, it's a growing industry right now, and it's very huge that they are holding the World Cup. So I think that there are a lot of opportunities there, and I think that my experience will be something to add up over there.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a mutual benefit, give and take. So I can take the opportunities that they have a lot of major leagues. They have a lot of female soccer players that are looking to develop and looking for opportunities. And from what I know is that I think that also the US lack for proper educated, experienced female coaches. So I think that it would be something that I can give and support. So this is my future thinking and my future goal, honestly. And as I've said before, give and take.
Yeah,
So whatever it's going to take me 10 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years in the US, at the end, I'll come back to my country and I want to develop,
sure.
because this is something that what I'm looking for is always, always, whether it was even in Mars, not even on Earth. If
Yeah.
it was for developing women's football, you're gonna see me the first one signing in.
All right, coach. Thanks so much. Thank you. I really appreciate, the time just flies and flew by, and it's amazing. Uh, please, hopefully we can talk a little bit more in the near future. Let's see
Sure.
what happens. I wish you luck. I wish you all the best. Thank
Thank you.
you. Congratulations for your courage, for your, strength to be the only female, or even if you have more, but a female coach in Middle East. Of course, we know it's not easy. So it's courage,
Thank
it's
you.
challenge, it's hard work. It's really tough. So congratulations. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully we
Thank
can
you.
do more chats like that.
Yeah, sure. Likewise, thank you for every single word you mentioned. That really lifted my spirits, and I really appreciate the fruitful conversation between us, and for many more, hopefully.
Yeah.
And thank you, and I wish you a great day.
Okay, you too. Have a very good day. All right. Thanks so
You too.
much.
Bye bye. Take
Thank
care. Bye
you.
bye. Thank you.